G'day, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me again. Today we are going to be painting and putting the tracks, the new tracks, onto this. And as you can see, they're already there and it's a little bit of dirt. And I'm doing this post the other work. So let's get into it. Alright, so that's how they end up looking in the end, and I'll just show you how you stick on another one. How you stick them together, you're going to sort of just get it through there, get your link lined up and push it all the way through, come along and snip, and that's that, and then you're free to move along and make a line of them. Help to control your filament with a, this is a bull clip, and it's just keeping it lined up so it doesn't always jump back onto my lap. And then you want to do this 32 odd times. And that little bend in it, little bend in this going through, should keep them together. Oh, look. Woo-wee-oo. I wanted to get to this link for the longest time. Alright, cool. One track. Oh wow, that was great. It decided that it wanted to stop recording for some reason just as I was about to say I won't bore you by doing the second one on film, so I'm just going to get on with this and we'll come back to closing the pin ends. Here we are to go along and melt these down to form ends on the pins, and I've warmed up the soldering iron and put the much abused plastic tip on it. And I'm going to have to turn on my extractor and put on a mask. So I'm afraid old Darth, whatever one you call him, he's coming. Or maybe it's somebody else. Alright, anyway. And then, yep, just let the heat work it over so that it bubbles into a nice rivet end. Oh. It's not best. Have to push a bit more through to get. Just like that. Push it down. Bob's your father's brother's mother's uncle's cousin, depending on where you're from. And then do the other side. And because I'm doing this with PLA, the fumes aren't as bad when it's with ABS, but still, use some breathing protection. And then you just want to go through, and you'll probably find it easiest to just go through and do one side, then the other. Might also want to push them all down so they're all about the same length. And just be careful when you're doing this not to burn your fingers. Like when you're doing that. That's one side done. So I won't bore you with the other side, but as you can see, I mean that's kind of just quickly gone over it. I might go over and shorten some of these ones again, but see the effect you get. I'll get on with the rest, and we'll see you when they're all ready to get the tracks glued on. But yeah, that's the basic effect there. It actually works extremely well. And of course, I'm going to have to do the other side and the other track. Now it's future editing Mike here again. And a little tip for tracks. Don't use PLA for the pins. I used PLA because it was color matching. And it appears that they have seized up and snapped a couple of places, which is rather unfortunate because I'm going to have to go through and replace it all with ABS. There seems to be only one track. What I'm going to do is just bring up a photograph now of the end of a pin so you can see where the wear pattern is on that, and then a couple of its friends so that you can see what I mean and how it wore. So yeah, just don't use PLA for the pins. Make sure you use the ABS or a nylon even. I haven't ever had a ABS set break before, and I just used, like I said before, I just used the green PLA because it's what I had to hand. But as you can see, I've got a bit more filament to hand now, so I think I'll be digging through there and hopefully finding a green. If I can't, maybe a black or something. Anyway, and then definitely going to be ABS. Anyway, let's get back to it. Alrighty, let's get these glued on. You don't need much, just give it a light widgeting and pick somewhere to begin. And a nice firm press. What's that? Well, okay, I think I've got a bit of glue on the next track, but they even tolerate small screw-ups like that. Rightio. So this is the new design here. Zoom in. It's a flexible piece, and it's got the hole there for the crap to pass through, but it's double ridged, which makes the overall track slightly, not to be apt, longer. Because it sits, sorry, so they won't be able to go back because it locked together, but that provides a nice tight interface. They can still turn this way, so that should be fine, and should work out nicely. You really don't need much glue. End up gluing them together if you do. Use too much. One should slide up a little bit. I'll probably have to cut that. Oh, shh. Oh, damn it, it's in my head. I'm hoping these will improve the ride, because don't forget this is an FPV Tracked Crawler. So if I want to have any sort of sane ride. If I'm doing any FPV, looking at any interesting places or roaming through the bush or whatever, I'm going to be under the house or in an air conditioning duct or a pipe underground. Yeah, I'm going to need some decent ride. Not the extreme wobbliness that I was getting out of the other system. Look at that. That's nice. That will be interesting seeing how that operates. Next. So now I want to start actually dismantling the lower suspension and painting. So I've got some bits to cover up, stuff to stuff in, and some prepping to do. Probably a bit of isopropyl alcohol cleaning to do too. There's mud everywhere. Mud. Anyway, the way I'm going to do this is actually a little bit podgy. I'm going to be taking these bottom ones off, leaving the springs attached to this body, painting these because these have actually had some wear. So hopefully the paint will just give it a little bit longer life, not much, but it'll bring it a little bit tighter. And then I'm just going to paint the body, servos out and taped. I'm probably just going to paint these wheels on there. I might take these ones off and paint them, but I probably also end up printing green replacements for these, like I've printed up with the tracks. So here we are, and as you can see, I've got the servos taped off, lower arms are off, lower suspension arms. These have been locked down to help cover the bearings, and I've got some plastic in here to help stop the paint going inside. And I'm going to go get a coat of paint on this while it's still somewhat light outside, and then I can get on with this after it's dark.
The next morning.
And there she is, painted in all her glory. I was intending to just go with a single colour, but I ran out of that and I had to do a little bit of custom multi-layered, and that's why there's a slight metallic coat to it. And then to get this effect, basically just brushed across the metallic spray paint like really light and from about 2 feet away, and then I came across it with a clear coat for metal, like the rust guard clear coat type product. I think that's exactly what I did use actually, and so that gives this nice sort of metallic feel. And as you can see, I've not done exactly the same perfect job on that. It's a little too glossy, a little too much clear coat here and less clear coat on here, and it looks like a different textured surface. Anyhow, tracks are ready. Let's just get them in the right. Gotta make sure these teeth line up as you get them on, and then that loop over the top. So as you can see, I've got a pin here, and this one was already flattened. So you want to bring the pins together, bring the links together, as you can see there, and then your pin will slide in once you've got the holes lined up, and you might have to just pull the other side too and wiggle it about a little until it goes all the way through. And then it'll line up like that, and you'll have this little bit here coming out. And so what you'll want to do once you have that lined up, again, difficult for me to film this I'm going to do my best to get it lined up for you. And get your big dirty plastic work iron and a really bad angle on it, and just start to melt it down gently. Let the heat just curl it round, curl it round, curl it, and then off, and whoop, really quickly with your finger, super quickly. You don't have to use your finger to do it, you can just go down and you'll have a wider edged rivet look. So I should probably recommend don't use your finger to do this. So I've just got this one here quickly, as you can see, just there to do. Get this one done. That's not helpful. Just fish out the rest of the soldering iron. And then we want to trim thus to about there. And come along and do the same. And that is a tracked rover. One tracked rover. Almost. I'm going to not drop my camera. I'm going to put that back on, and then I'm pretty keen to go for a little test.